corals rarely get much larger than a frag, so it's really rare to actually see a full-size colony of some soft corals, especially diverse species. So I really wanted to show you what wild soft corals look like, especially in all their shapes and their textures, and more than one colony as well. Seeing these corals all spread out and grouped by their own kind really helps you to appreciate the different shapes and colors and patterns of each of the different species. It's really hard to tell them apart when they're still alone, but when you see them side by side in a very ideal shallow water environment, you can really begin to appreciate the diversity of lobophyton, sarcophyton, and similarity. For obvious reasons, for these videos, I'm definitely concentrating on the colonies that are completely open and look their best. But just like in our reef aquariums, in the wild, there is no rhyme or reason as to why some colonies of soft corals will be completely open, the polyps extended, and right next to them will be some closed-up colonies with the polyps retracted. So don't get discouraged if your soft coral doesn't open up in your home reef tank, because this happens in the wild too. So this is a very curious example of a very bizarre soft coral. I believe that it's a Similaria, it could be a lobophyton. And this particular coral, sometimes I call it a donut leather coral or a tire leather coral. I don't think anyone's really paying attention to these big, flat disc or tube or donut shaped leather corals, but they always happen in very shallow water and they have these very thick ridges. This is one of the species of soft corals that would be really hard to appreciate to its full glory in an aquarium environment, because colonies can be anywhere from 2 to 5 feet across. Very rarely seen these in aquariums or even small colonies offered for sale. But this is why those are naturally really to go enjoy corals that don't make it to the headlines of the aquarium world. Corals are probably some of the most familiar soft corals in the aquarium hobby. They belong to the genus Sarcophyton, and they're typified by basically a cap with some polyps coming out. And a very common type is brown polyps. But in this particular environment, I was able to find the rare and often overlooked gold crown mother. It has a yellow capitulum with white polyps. It's a subtle difference, but it looks way more attractive in the aquarium. At this point in the video, I'm starting to wander off into slightly deeper water, and this is actually what's needed for the sarcophyton coastal layers to get big enough and to start multiplying, because in the shallow water there's just simply too much wave action, and only the Similaria and the lobophyton can handle that environment. So where it starts to get a little bit deeper, it transitions into some stony corals, like varieties, but this is where we find colonies of sarcophyton coastal leather. This is by far one of the coolest things that I saw on my shallow water soft coral snorkel. This is basically a miniature reef pinnacle that is crested by a Singularia, and it has all kinds of diverse soft coral species growing around its base. What you might not realize is that this pinnacle was actually built layer by layer on the base of the Singularia. It's a species of soft coral that I affectionately call the Joshua Tree soft coral, because it builds these thick, sturdy basal branches. There is a common misconception
that it's impossible or ill-advised to keep soft corals along the stony corals, but really this boils down to the habitat. As you can see in this clip, there's yellow branching devil's hand lobophyton growing right alongside yellow Thrygus cylindrica, and they both look beautiful. As I start to transition away from soft corals and more towards the stony corals, the water gets deeper and the fish also get larger and more numerous. So I stumbled across this small little cleaner-ass cleaning station and thought I'd take a look to see what customers would pass today. A little deeper still, and I was able to focus in on a beautiful pair of real angelfish. These fish are normally very shy, but there's a lot of fish in this environment. As I start heading back into shallow water where the soft corals are, I take a moment to appreciate